with your audio, your issues.
My problems with my audio were 15 minutes ago. We got those straightened out.
Listen, I can't help that you hold up the show. Can't.
Even if I don't hold up the show, I mean, I was here early.
You were here early? For you?
Mm-hmm.
You were here early for you. We'll say that.
Oh, no, I was in the green room for like 15 minutes before you let me in.
Well, that's not my fault. I was busy.
I'm sure Katie was too, because you let us both in at the same time. That's how I know.
I was busy. I was reading
and she's
through
always
stuff.
Before
I was reading through stuff, Steve, so I don't know what to tell you.
You can't hear the little ding that comes up when you're supposed to let somebody in the fucking...
There's no ding.
There is a ding.
I don't hear it.
I get a ding.
I don't get a ding. Well, I don't get a ding, so I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't get a ding. There's no ding, and I pay for the service too. God damn it! I want my ding.
Maybe go into settings and see if you can turn the ding on. I don't think so.
I want my ding. I want my damn ding. Actually. I hope so.
Where's your little banner? You forgot your little scrolling banner across the bottom.
Oh, across the bottom. Should I put it up, Steve? Let's do it.
You don't have to. I'm just saying. You normally have it there.
Let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's fix it, Steve.
I'm used to it.
Hold on, Steve. I got you, buddy. I got you. I don't want you to feel like you're out of place here or out of time, so to speak.
I've been out of time for a long time.
You have?
We're out of place.
There's my fucking dog over there groaning and moaning. Little bitch. All right, there you go. You ready? There you go. You happy now?
Oh, that looks so nice.
You like that? Does that make you? Does that tickle your pee-pee?
It doesn't do that, but it's a nice little addition. To the
nice little addition to the show. All right, you ready to start this shit? Well, we never tested the audio, Steve. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yep.
There you go. We'll get going then.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 191. People out of time, out of place, out of time, I don't know. Out of fucking excuses I am right now, Steve. That's what I got for you, buddy.
Okay.
I'm just completely
I wasn't helping you out either.
No, you just fucking let me flounder. You just let me go down.
Because, that's what you would do to me.
Oh, you damn Skippy, I would. I would just sit there and watch you fucking try to stay afloat.
Well, that's why I don't run this show. I mean, because I would never be able to stay.
Will's taking my foot and putting it on your head and pushing you under.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do, Steve. That's what I'm here for.
No matter what it meant to the success of this show, or lack thereof, you'd still do it.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's hot as fuck out, Steve. Is it hot where you are?
I don't know. I've been inside all day.
Yeah, and the AC.
I went outside briefly.
Yeah.
The AC, yes.
Is it hot out? I can tell you it's fucking hot here.
In the 80s.
Katie, is it hot where you are?
Well, it might have been in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, it's been hot and sticky, but it just started raining, and there's a nice cool breeze now.
Oh, yeah, I like those nice cool breezes. I'll tell you what, though. I decided today. Hey, you two fuckers, stop fighting over a bone. Hey! I decided today, fuck the future generations. Fuck them. Let's free on the shit out of this place so that I can stay cool.
Comfort trumps environmental issues by far.
Fucking,
I don't care who you are.
Just fucking free on the shit out of this stuff. Like, I don't give a fuck if we fuck this planet up so bad in years to come that the fish have to walk out onto the fucking land and they get their fucking turn at shit. I don't give a fuck. I was thinking about that today too, Steve. You know, we fucked the planet up so bad that the fish got to come out. You know, that they get their turn.
Like fish people?
Like fish people
They
come
grow
out
eggs.
onto land. They fucking come out onto land, and then they see like the pyramids will probably still be fucking standing, and they'll see those,
yeah.
and then they'll go, "Wow, those had to have been built by aliens."
It'd be the same story, except the people look like fish.
Did you fucking hear? Did you look at the UFO report at all? I know you're a big fan of that shit.
No, it hasn't actually come out yet, has it? I know there's been some leaks.
No. I thought it came.
Or has it come out? Oh, I didn't look at it yet. That was later in the month. I could be wrong.
I didn't think I'd seen it yet. I thought it was coming out like the 12th or the 13th or something.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And I'm sure it's later in the month. I know there's been some quote unquote leaks, but I haven't heard what they are.
Some scuttlebutt. They ain't gonna fucking tell us anything. What are they gonna tell us?
No, of course not. It's gonna be watered down for sure. There may be some new information in there. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a watered down deal.
It's not gonna be anything worthwhile.
I'm still nervous about it, but maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know.
Why are you nervous about it?
I don't know. I don't trust the government, and
I don't trust the government.
Well, do you?
Big daddy government. No, I don't.
No. I don't know anybody who does. So, but this one where they're all kind of on board with all this shit, that worries me. I don't like.
I don't trust
on board
anything
that's
that's part of a system. I should put it more to that. I don't trust when something's part of a system. Like, okay, so for the record, police officers are people. Okay, but the minute they clock in, they're a part of a system. So you got to understand that. It's like that. It's like those types of things. When you're part of that system, you're bound by the rules of that system. It's a slippery fucking slope, Steve.
I just know that anytime in the history of mankind, all of it, governments are always every single time corrupt. Every one of them has
a government's a system.
Everyone.
Systems don't care. Once you're part of a system, the system doesn't care. It's like the tax collector doesn't give a shit. You know, the tax collector doesn't care.
No,
fuck you, pay me. The tax collector is worse.
People don't care.
Yeah, right. They don't care. They're like fucking the dude in Goodfellas. Fuck you, pay me. You can't make the rent. Fuck you, pay me. You know, you didn't fucking get a check this week. Fuck you, pay me. That's the way it is. Enjoy. That's what you signed up for. and didn't at the same time. You know, we're all born into it, I guess. Born into the bullshit. Wherever it is. You're either born into it here or you're born into it somewhere else.
It doesn't matter where else.
Yeah.
Some of it's more extreme than others.
Yeah.
But it's all the same fucking thing in the end.
It's all degrees. It's all just degrees. And when you live in it, it's different too. You know, when you're a part of it. I don't fucking know anymore. I really don't. I don't. Let the fish people take over. Fuck it. Fish people, Steve. Let the fish people take over. They can decide whether or not the pyramids were made by aliens. I think your cat's an alien now, Steve. I'm pretty fucking sure.
So funny.
He's a fucking alien
now. Doesn't even look like my cat.
Yep.
Hilarious. So, for those of you who don't know it, then there's probably nobody because I don't see any chat going on.
No, there's been people watching and listening, but there's nobody in the chat tonight.
Long hair cat, and gets all tangled up his hair, gets all matted and shit. So we had him shaved.
As you should.
He looks Siamese. I thought he looks like a Siamese cat. Now he's not. He's like a Himalayan something or other.
Well, you could have a pain in the ass dog, Steve. You know, that just
very rare kind of cat.
Fuck out of you. I mean, You
Okay.
could have one of those.
I like dogs. My wife has almost got me talked into having one.
A dog?
A small one. You know, a
Really?
lap dog. A dog you can take with you.
Lap dog. Steve,
I'm
no.
not a big fan. No, I know.
Steve.
I'm not a fan.
You got to go at least a little bigger than a lap dog. Like you got to
It
go
can
like
be slightly bigger.
you got to go like border collie size.
That's too big, man.
No, it isn't.
For us, it is.
Border collies stay relatively small.
Well, they're a medium-sized dog, but they're high energy.
Well, yeah, but I mean
Very
that size. That size. That's the size you want.
My
Not
mother has a
beefy.
border collie.
Yeah.
That dog is a bitch.
Yeah. I loved my
Not
border
because she's
collie.
mean, just because she jumps all over you, and it's just
Well,
horrible.
Well, that's
Can't walk in my mom's house without getting attacked by a freaking dog.
I'm going to tell
But
you
she's
right
big,
now.
too.
That's
But she's not
on
100% border
Steve.
collie.
That's on the owner.
Well,
Now it's
she
on.
used to be Sure, she used to be an outside dog. My mom needed a dog. She wanted a dog for protection. That's it. And that dog will scare the fuck out of you
Oh yeah, that's fine.
because it'll come up on you.
But you also have to take control of a fucking dog if you're gonna own one.
Right. And my
You
mom didn't get
have
the dog till it was well aged. You know, that's not a young dog.
Like, and
So
I know
then
that
it
because
came
I've
to
got
my
a dog
sister who
that I have to work around that because I can't control her in certain situations.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I have to, like, we got summer. We're in full swing summer now. So I'm fucking taking the dog like down the alleyway beside the fucking house to shit and piss so that she doesn't see anybody. It's fucking crazy. Sucks.
Yeah. But my mom didn't get the dog because it was a nice, kind, gentle dog. She got it.
Right.
It was my sister's dog, but it was an outside dog. But it's a border collie, so they're a little more difficult.
Yeah.
To get, calm down. They love people.
Jet sex.
Jet sex, man.
Talk Bigfoot.
Talk whatever the fuck we want to talk.
Yeah. Talk fucking whatever I want to talk about. Rick L. Bigfoot
But no.
dog. Okay.
Our fans aren't right in the head.
No.
So the reason I need a small dog is because we travel a lot, and dogs are needy, so it would have to go with us.
Yeah.
I can't have a big, Great Dane in the fucking back of the Kia.
No, we friggin' can't leave these fucking two. They're friggin' needy as fuck.
My cats could care less. We can leave them for a week.
That's true.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, your cats. Yeah, I agree. But I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. And unfortunately, that comes with certain responsibilities, Steve. So I deal with it. I deal with it.
I've actually had dogs most of my life. We don't have one now.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure when we will. It's a big commitment because of the travel.
Get a Pomeranian.
And then when you travel, I want a frou-frou dog.
Fucking Pomeranian. I could see you with a little black jet black Pomeranian. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't want to
put a little bandana on him. Fuck yeah, Steve. Fuck yeah.
I think Steve's more of a miniature pincher kind of guy.
Maybe that would probably be a little bit better.
I don't know. Min Pin?
Do they make miniature Labradors?
I just found out apparently they make miniature pit bulls now. They call them pocket bullies.
Oh god.
Ooh, they are
that would be cool.
Adorable. I had never heard of it.
I
bet they are.
We're gonna get a cane corso one of these days, and they're big.
I have to say though, every pit bull that I've met, wonderful dog.
Yeah,
it's all about ownership.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are defensive though. They will, if they think you're attacking their owner or something, they will get you.
Una will bark at everyone. She sounds fucking vicious, but she won't hurt you. Like that's the funny thing. Like she just wants you to pet her. It's hilarious to me. Like people come in and they're like, and it's like, just fucking pet her. Like I wouldn't let you in the house if I thought for a second that the dog was going to bite you. Just pet the fucking dog. And she'll calm down, and then they pet her, and she calms down. She's all fucking. She's a bit loveliest fucking dog in the world, but she's an asshole, and that's what I inherited. Have fun, but we're actually looking to move at some point. It's not anytime soon, but we've got to try to find a place with property.
At least a backyard. Should get a backyard, fenced in backyard. You're good to go. I don't know how your dog would be with a fence, but our dog would not. She'd try to get through the fence, but she was too damn stupid to figure out how.
Yeah, I don't
pick holes or whatever, but
I don't know. I wouldn't let him out alone anyway. So.
Oh, we did. She had a doggy door.
No, I wouldn't do that. There's too much that can happen, and especially with the way the owner is just not a good idea. But anywho, Steve,
as long as your yard is secure, you should.
Steve, I got to get back to the fish people taking over the world.
All right.
People want to talk about. People want to talk about strange things. I said that dog people might take over the world at one point.
Well, we already have dog men, so it should be.
Well, no, I said to fucking David that I thought that if people fucking got wiped off the face of the earth, I think that dogs, wild dogs, would become the apex predator eventually, and would eventually,
Yeah, I think you're right, because there's a lot.
Especially the way that coy wolves are breeding in the Northeast and on the eastern side of the United States. And they've taken a huge foothold. And I think that's pretty cool. It's interesting.
Maybe they'll wipe us out. Maybe there'll be like a dog man human war someday.
We're done. Fucking dog men versus the world or versus humans. So it wouldn't be like fucking werewolves versus vampires. It'd be werewolves versus people.
But they're not werewolves.
They're dog men.
Just dogs. They're dog
or
men.
Dogs?
Because, eventually
do they stand
evolution
up?
Will make them. Well, they will because they're dog men.
Eventually.
They already do, according to some people.
But eventually they're going to stand up and start using their paws. Holding guns and shit. Will they ride horses? Like Planet of the Apes? Planet of the Dogmen? Yep.
See, they think apes have had their chance.
Yeah.
This is the result right here. You and I.
Take your hands off me, you damn dirty dog man.
It isn't going to be apes next time. It's going to be dogs. Or cats. Cats have a lot longer way to go. Although cats are more independent. It might be cats. But I can't see a cat man as being real
Planet of the I don't give a fuck animals.
Dog man's a little threatening. Cat man,
yeah. Dog man fuck shit up.
And fish people, it's gonna take a long time for them to
well, I'm telling you, that's if we fuck everything really bad up, fuck things up, and they have to come out of the ocean. Once they have to,
I think they already are. That's what all these UFOs are. They're fish people coming out of the ocean.
Fish people? Maybe they are. Maybe the next iteration.
See, I think the defining factor is going to be which species develops thumbs first. Opposable thumbs, I think, are a very important factor for domination.
Then which one of those species develops masturbation?
Well, several already have that. So.
Oh yeah, dolphins. Quite a few of the that class of killer whales, dolphins. I want to say porpoises. Rapey. Yeah, they are pretty fucking rapey. That's some crazy shit. But there's some other animals that actually have sex for pleasure. That aren't. They were talking about it on a show I listened to recently. But that's that's interesting shit. Like dolphins, the motherfuckers fascinate the shit out of me.
I
They have like
forgot
their
about
own languages. What's that?
I forgot about the dolphins. Yeah, I can see it. If fishermen were dolphin men, or dolphins will gather all the species together, maybe. And
Yeah, but
be the
dolphins
leaders
would
of
just
the
come
fish
out and be
people.
another mammal. We're mammals.
Well, they kind of have to be
They don't have to be.
to breathe air.
Well, what if the fishmen come out with like little things on their sides of their head?
Little water in it, and little
they keep
glass
the water
bulbs
in.
or some shit.
Yeah.
Kind of like SpongeBob when he goes into Sandy's house.
Where do they figure that shit out? I don't know.
Fishbowl over his head.
I don't know. Steve, I'm just fucking spitballing here.
So I think we can agree to disagree on how the fish people are coming out of the fish land. But I think it's going to be dolphins. And they're not fish. I get it. Whatever.
No, they're mammals.
But yeah,
dolphins. And they'll be
they are
overly.
closer.
So what you're saying is that the next iteration of a civilization by a species on this planet will be dolphins. And according to Katie, they'll be extremely rapey.
Yes. Well, I don't think the next iteration. I think that's millions of years down the road.
Oh.
I think dogmen are closer. But
Oh. So basically,
dolphin men
they'll be humans.
and dogmen are rapey too,
As are humans.
as are humans. Well, without a system of government, we'd be really rapey. So there are good things.
When you go back to
systems of
fucking old
government.
times, and it's fucking gets crazy. It gets fucking crazy. I think about that shit now, like what it was like back in like medieval times and shit. Stuff's scary.
Well, in caveman times, I mean, how
That
how
too.
else- they didn't get married. I mean, there was no marriage.
Yeah, there's no marriage.
We were, and I'm sure it was whatever, because that's how the species propagated. And why we aren't that way now, I don't know. And it's probably a good thing, but
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing. It is a good thing
Yeah.
that we're not rapey. I mean, we are rapey. I mean, look at all. I mean, you see it in the news every day, but
Yeah.
but
It's one of
more
those
an
things that
animal instinct.
I don't understand. I've never understood. It's the same type of thing with as like serial killers or murderers. I just don't get it. I don't get the thing, that switch that isn't there. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but if we were just any other regular animal, those things would be fairly normal, probably. You know what I'm saying? In the animal kingdom, there's no rape. There's no,
Right. I know what you're
serial
saying.
killer.
I know what you're
So-
saying, but in and of that, like I'm one of those people that I'm fascinated by like true crime and stuff because I don't understand that.
right. And I am too, and I understand that as humans, we've developed a conscious, and that keeps us in
Conscience.
line.
Yeah.
A conscience. Yeah. So
Hey, it is what it
because
is.
most of us have that, it is very hard to understand the people who don't.
Oh, moral compasses.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
empathy is a huge factor, and that's definitely a human trait. But there are unfortunately people who just don't have it.
I
It's
think
like
it-
that
I
switch,
think I think in some cases that genetically people are born without empathy or that they're psychopaths.
Yeah.
I think that does happen. However,
I don't disagree.
I think that by and large, by a huge percentage, it has a lot to do with how they're raised by their mother and their father.
Yes. Well,
I
and I
think
think
that-
there might just be some like unknown neuropathy, like some part of our brains that we don't fully understand the science behind. And
No. I acknowledge that. I think that there's a percentage that's that.
right, but there's a
That
huge
has that-
nurture factor too.
But I think that by and large, that a big majority of those people, it happens because of the way they're raised. and how they view like, and a lot of times it comes back to how they view their mother.
Yeah, that's a huge factor in a lot of the big cases of like serial killers and stuff. They all have a weird relationship with their mother.
Weird mom thing.
Mm-hmm.
Always a weird mom thing. Ed Gein, weird fucking mom thing.
Even that Son of Sam guy we just covered, he had a weird mom thing going on too.
Yeah. I didn't get into that part of it.
Yeah, that was...
I actually put that book on my wish list today.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Ultimate Evil. I put it on my wish list for my Kindle. I'm going to get it. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff fascinates me. Like how much of that is, how much of that's because two people decided to have a kid that definitely shouldn't have, for one, and then just fucking basically gave them a tortured life.
Right. I have a hard time though thinking that that's a soul. There has to be some other physical component, because there's plenty of people who have shitty mothers and they turn out just fine and they don't.
Oh yeah. So
it's
yeah,
complicated.
I think there's a lot of different factors, but I think that the rearing part is a huge one.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge one. Based on what I've seen over the years and watched. I've watched a lot of documentaries on serial killers. The one that got me that I didn't realize what he'd done was BTK. I started looking into BTK and I thought, the dude just like bound and tortured and killed some people. I didn't realize like what he'd done exactly. And when they went into like what he did to the like that little girl in the basement, I was just like, oh, that was rough. That made me fucking cringe.
Well, he was just so stone cold too. Like when he would speak about it and stuff, he was so expressionless and so matter of fact, and he's creepy. That
was one where it was like really like he sat there and masturbated while she was strung up and just, oh God, it made me just like want to crawl out of, it's one of those things that made me want to crawl out of my own skin. It's weird, like how that shit can affect me. But wow, Jet Sex is like just going off in the fucking.
Yeah, I quit reading it a while ago.
Goddamn fucking Jesus. Anyhow,
Jet Sex hasn't been around for a while, so welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
My biggest fan, I think.
Yeah, you're a biggest fan. Steve, you got any news tonight?
Sure.
Okay. If the thing will play. There we go.
All right, I don't really want to read this one, but Katie sent it to me, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
It's already. This one freaked me out just from the first head. Really? Yes. This is from El Paso, Texas, from KTSM.com.
Down in the West Texas town of El Paso. Oh,
Robbins, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I fell in love with him.
Imagine you're sleeping in your bed and start to hear what sounds like rain, and even feel something dripping down on your face.
Oh.
However, upon turning on the lights, the water is actually blood.
Piss. Oh.
No, it's blood. That's what happened to Ana Cardenas in El Paso. She woke up to a disturbing discovery of blood on her face that seeped through the ceiling while she was asleep. Cardenas says that she woke up around 4 a.m. to the sound of something dripping. When she got up to see what the noise was, she said what she thought was rain was actually blood spattered across the walls, her bed, and her body. Now, it was spattered across the walls because she had her ceiling fan on. So it was right above the ceiling fan, and it just scattered it everywhere. She said it grossed me out. I was in shock. I thought, this isn't real. This is a dream. I called maintenance, and they said, "Are you sure it's blood?" So she called 911, and it turns out her upstairs neighbor had passed away. He was I don't know what his age was. It says between 55 to 70s. So he had been dead for about 6 days, and he started to decompose, and that's when it started dripping down through. Not only was it blood, it was rotten human flesh blood. That is why I didn't want. Ugh. They took the fan down, and a pool of blood came down. Cardenas said, "Ugh." Can you imagine waking up to that?
No. God, no. Whoa.
Yeah, he just booted himself. I actually found that story from a follow-up story. That chick ended up getting tons of therapy, and she started a GoFundMe to raise some money for new furniture. So
yeah, that was the wrong button.
Yeah, it was. Dumbass.
That story. No, that would be my worst
gross.
nightmare right there.
That's fucking gross.
It's good that it was just a dead neighbor upstairs, because let's say she didn't live in an apartment, and that
gives a whole new meaning to spin art right there.
Yeah.
Not only was there blood dripping down on her, there was a ceiling fan going. Story number 2. Remember Florida woman stuck in the drain? Remember that from a couple weeks ago?
Sure.
Yeah, we did a story on that 2 months ago, actually.
Yeah.
Lindsay Kennedy was found in a storm drain. Well, she's done it again. Florida woman who was missing for 3 weeks and then rescued from the Florida storm drain found herself in another underground tunnel system in Texas over the weekend, according to media reports. Lindsay Kennedy, 43, climbed out of a 6-foot drain pipe Saturday night and was taken to a hospital. Her mother told West Palm Beach, Florida-based WPEC TV. It's a CBS affiliate, in case you wanted to know. Kennedy has been checked into rehabilitation. No shit. Anyway, when she had been checked into rehabilitation, but she wandered off and ended up in another storm drain.
Fucking storm drain.
Yeah.
Was she follow Pennywise? Some dude with fucking balloons just like, come on down here. We all float.
Kennedy's friend, I can't imagine she has too many, Brady Morgan, told the news outlet that Grand Prairie officers spotted her. When they approached her, she slipped into a nearby storm drain, the news outlet reported. So she was running from police. That's what it was. Her family tracked her using an app on her cell phone that noted her last location prior to going underground. As a precaution, her loved ones dropped bags of food and Gatorade in nearby manholes in an effort to sustain her. This is not a fake story. This is real.
Oh, I know it's not. I know it's not, Steve.
Okay, right button this time. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
You know all about that stand your ground defense. I think in Ohio is a stand your ground state. I don't know if your state is. So
Florida is.
In your house.
Yeah,
Florida. Oh yeah. Well, this is a Florida man story. So stand your ground defense rejected in iguana killing. A judge has rejected the stand your ground defense of a Florida man who said he beat an iguana to death only after it attacked him, biting him on the arm. PJ Najala Patterson, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. Patterson's fine. Said must stand trial on a felony animal cruelty charge. Yeah. The stand your ground law allows a person who is under attack and reasonably fears death or great bodily harm to use deadly force, even if they could retreat to safety. It has been used in several high-profile cases since it was adopted 16 years ago, but this might be the first time the recipient of deadly force was an animal. Prosecutors said Patterson, savagely beat, tormented, tortured, and killed the 3-foot iguana in a half-an-hour attack, caught on surveillance video, by the way. I don't want to watch that one. Prosecutor Alexandra Dorman said at no time was the iguana posing any real threat to Patterson. He was not justified in his action when he kicked this defenseless animal at least 17 times, causing its death. Yeah, I have to agree. Without seeing the video, of course. The animal control official said Patterson tormented the animal, which was why it bit him on the arm, causing a wound that required 22 staples to close. Well, at least the fucking thing got his, bite in before the guy killed him.
Mm.
So he was already torturing the thing before it bit him. Why would you do that?
Oh, Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man. That's the
Good
news.
old Florida man. Why'd you have to end us on a downer like that, Steve?
That's because that's the order that Katie sent them to
Poor
me.
Guana.
Actually, you read them in reverse order, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, reverse order. But did you want me to end on blood dripping from the ceiling?
That would have been better.
I mean, that was an interesting one at least.
Yeah.
Iguana Man? Iguana
See,
Man.
this is why Jet Sex is so
Was it?
wrong. You are not the best newsman, Steve. You are a horrible newsman. Like a good newsman would have said, blood dripping from the ceiling? Blood, listen, if it bleeds, it's not that it leads, Steve. It's that it is the big story. So you lead into it.
So the big story is at the end, or should it be in the middle sometime?
No, you put it at the end.
At the end.
Yeah, you put it at the end.
I'll try to remember that next time. I usually put the poop story at the end.
Well, you didn't have a poop story.
No,
So
but that's usually,
blood
my ending.
dripping from a decomposing body through the ceiling onto someone, that's the one you go with last.
Oh, by the way, he died of natural causes, if anybody wanted to know.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yes. Not the iguana. The dead guy upstairs.
Right.
Not upstairs here in the news story.
Right. No dead
Just wanted
guys
to make
upstairs?
sure. No, not here. Well, not
Okay,
that I
good.
know of.
All right. You want to check?
Well, my wife watches a lot of murder shows, so
Okay.
it's completely possible that there is a
That
dead
you
body
could wind up
stuffed in
being
our
the
attic.
dead man upstairs.
there could be a dead body stuffed in our attic somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
But I have a feeling that since she watches so many of those shows, she would know how to take care of it. So
She's got it all figured out. Well, this is what I'm going to tell you, Steve. Because I'm also someone that watches a lot of those shows. And the people that think they can get away with that shit because they watch a lot of them shows usually get caught.
But the people who watch a lot of those shows usually don't try to get away with that shit. Because they're not the ones committing the crimes. They're the ones obsessed
They're
with
just
watching
the
crimes.
shit.
Yeah. So how do you know that they wouldn't know how to get away with it? See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, Steve. Generally, people just can't get away with it. Forensics is
Some do.
pretty good nowadays. That DNA, Steve. I mean,
Let me just say, Steve Alcorn didn't kill himself.
yeah.
In case there's any ever issue there,
Oh, okay.
it didn't happen.
All right.
Cut that off.
So let's get into our
chest.
stories of the evening, Steve. Out of time people. Out of place. Out of time. Were they from another land, Steve?
I don't know where they're from. They're
I don't
out of
know.
place and out of time.
I can tell you where two of them are from. They're bullshit. I'm going to tell you that
All
right now.
well, it's-
I know that two of these stories tonight are bullshit. One of them could be real.
Or not.
Or not. But Steve had brought up the idea of doing this out of time guy. You brought that up, what? A couple of weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, fuck it. Let's throw it together, see what happens.
Well, yeah, because I come up with a topic once every 3 or 4 years.
And I threw in a couple other out of time stories that are well known that people tend to think are real. And I originally did these on my channel, on the YouTube channel, as bedtime stories way back. I told the story of a couple of these, the man from Torred and Rudolph Fence. So we'll get into the man from Torred, Steve. In 1954, a well-dressed man arrived in Tokyo International Airport. He was Caucasian and spoke French and Japanese. Everything was normal about the man except for his passport. As he passed through customs, authorities were confused to see that his passport was issued from a country called Torred. The passport looked and felt legitimate, but no one had heard of this country. The man was equally confused by their confusion and said that Torred had been an established country for over 1,000 years, and it is impossible they haven't heard of it. They had him point to Torred on a map. He pointed to an area near France and Spain, what we know to be the Principality of Andorra. The man was frustrated that their map had renamed his home country and didn't understand the misunderstanding they were experiencing. Customs decided to detain the man in a private room while they investigated his origins. The man said he had a headache and he was going to sleep it off while they looked into it. The company he claimed to work for existed in Japan, but not in Andorra. And the hotel he claimed to have stayed at in Tokyo had no record of him. In his belongings, he had denominations of money from several different countries, which supported his claims of being a traveling businessman, but did nothing to answer the questions of this mysterious country called Torred. So they checked on the man in the room he was detained in hopes of questioning him further. But when they opened the door, no one was in there. The room was empty with a neatly made bed. They did a thorough search of the area, but he could not be located, and his belongings that they had seized had disappeared as well. So, I know, before I'm going to get into the explanation of this, story's bullshit, people. It's bullshit.
Of course it is.
It's bullshit. But there are people that claim that this story is a real story. It tells a real story of a real type of time slip or maybe multiverse type thing. It's not. So we'll get into the explanation. So the story was an instant mystery. It's still a popular urban legend. It's used as an example to support different multiverse theories as well as time travel. But if you really dig deep into a resolution of the story, there are two conclusions. First, and most likely, the whole thing was made up. There's no official Japanese documentation on the case, and no mention of this story exists before the 2000s. It seems to be an internet fringe fiction story. The second possibility that gets referenced often is that the man was a con artist and did eventually get tracked down in 1959, arrested and prosecuted by authorities for producing a fake passport. But many believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. There was a mysterious man with a fake passport that stumped authorities, but the story has been embellishing and sensationalized over the years. As far as I've known, it's just a bullshit story.
Now, you said 2000s was the first occurrence, so sometime in a creepypasta type thing, probably.
Right.
Internet rumor
Yeah.
bullshit.
And because of people looking for the true origins, there was a case from 1959 where there was a wanted man who was wanted in Japan for passport fraud. And they just kind of plucked that record and kind of attached it to it. But there's no record from this 1954 incident.
Because it didn't happen.
Right.
So, do you want me to do the Shoshani one last?
Nah, I put it in the middle.
Yeah. Who was
Not a
Mr.
fan of
Shoshani?
Shoshani.
Yeah.
I like the Shoshani story, or Chuchani, or whatever they call it.
This one's from, we actually took this one from Chuchani.com. Monsieur Chuchani, or Shoshani, from
Mr.
whenever
C.
to 1968, is the nickname of an otherwise anonymous, enigmatic Jewish teacher who taught a small number of distinguished students in post-World War II Europe and elsewhere, including Emmanuel Levinas and Eli Wiesel.
Oh, I like that name.
Not much is known about M. Chuchani, including his real name, a secret which he zealously guarded. His origins are completely unknown, and his gravestone, located in Montevideo, Uruguay, where he died in January 1968, reads, "The wise Rabbi Chuchani of blessed memory. His birth and his life are sealed in enigma." The text is by Eli Wiesel, who paid for this gravestone. The name Shoshani, which means person from Shushan, is most probably an allegorical reference, or possibly a pun. Eli Wiesel hypothesizes that Shushanis, or Chuchanis, Real name was Mordecai Rosenbaum. Mordecai! While Hebrew University professor Shalom Rosenberg asserts that Chuchani's actual name was Hillel Perlman. Although there is no known body of works by Shoshani himself, there is a very strong intellectual legacy seen in the influence on his pupils. By all accounts, Shoshani had the appearance of a vagabond, and yet was reputed to be a master of vast areas of human knowledge, including science, mathematics, philosophy, and especially the Talmud. Most of the biographical details of Shoshani's life are known from the works and interviews of his various students, as well as anecdotes of people whom he encountered during his lifetime. Shoshani appeared in Paris after the Second World War, where he taught between the years of 1947 and 1952. He disappeared for a while after that, evidently spent some time in the newly formed state of Israel, returned to Paris briefly, and then left for South America, where he lived until his death. And this is from you, though, right, Katie? At the end?
Yeah, this is my little take on it.
So everyone who encountered Shoshani stated that he never kept a diary, had no desire to publish any of his great knowledge, and never even saw him put pen to paper. Yet Eli Wiesel, do you know if that's Wiesel or...
No, he was a Jewish professor type of guy too, so I think it's probably Wiesel.
I don't know. Referenced manuscripts written by him. Wiesel is really the main source of knowledge the world has for Shoshani, and he was known to write about enigmatic topics and generally promoted the great unknown. He loved a good mystery. It is believed he took great liberties in exaggerating Shoshani's real story, or just took advantage to play up his desire to not have his origins known.
So basically, this guy just showed up he showed up out of nowhere, somehow got a job as a professor or a teacher, but I guess he influenced a lot of very intellectual people at the time, including this Wiesel guy. So,
yeah, a lot of those people.
But nobody knows who he was.
Yeah, they went on to be very successful people, and they all referenced him as like their great inspiration in life, but nobody knew anything about him. There was a group of people that did some DNA testing apparently and tried to like trace him back, and that's where a few of those names that were mentioned came into play, where they do think they know who he was genetically, but it really doesn't fill in any of the gaps as to who he really was and how he got his knowledge and where he was educated and stuff like that.
Right.
So
from what I understand, he'd disappear for periods of time when nobody would know, and then he'd show up and start teaching again. And it was weird.
Yeah.
Sounds like a vagabond to me.
It's a real guy.
Right.
But, so he fits out of place more than out of time than anything. But it's a really interesting story if you delve deep into it.
All right.
Okay.
So our last story of the evening, Steve, Rudolph Fentz. In 1951 in Times Square, New York City, a man who looked to be about 30 years old was wandering around dressed in late 19th century clothing. He was gawking at signs and cars as if he had never seen one before. He eventually stumbled into traffic and was hit and killed by a taxi. When the morgue searched his body, they found strange objects on him. There were outdated banknotes, a copper token for a beer worth 5 cents from a saloon no one had ever heard of, a business card with the name Rudolph Fentz, and a letter dated from 1876. Despite the apparent old age of these objects, they actually looked brand new. They went to the address listed on the business card, but the people there had never heard of this man. Investigators eventually tracked down the record of a man from 1939 named Rudolph Fentz Jr. He had already died, but his widow was still alive in Florida. They visited her and found out that Fentz Jr.'s father had gone missing at the age of 29 in 1876, the year on the letter in the mystery man's pocket. He had disappeared after taking an evening walk and was never seen again. Investigators dug up the old missing persons report from 1876, and the description of his age, appearance, and clothing matched perfectly to the mystery man from Times Square. The lead investigator never marked the case as solved, though, for fear that people wouldn't believe him, and he'd lose his job for incompetence or mental illness. The implications are obvious here. Did this man somehow stumble into a time warp? he seemed to be catapulted into the future where he was clearly out of place. This has been a popular time travel story shared many times throughout history, but it's actually no mystery at all. The true origins of the story trace back to science fiction writer Jack Finney and his short story I'm Scared, published in 1951. Ta-da!
Jack Finney.
Ta-da! Yeah,
Most of
I
these
want to
out-of-place
say, I
stories
want
are
to
gonna
say
be that
too,
way.
that somebody knows for a fact that the man from Torred story is bull. I'm gonna have to go back and. Did you listen to the old bedtime story, Katie, that I did?
No, by the time I sat down to do all this, I kind of forgot. I'm sorry.
I wonder if I made mention of it. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, when I was
I don't
looking
know.
it up, I found several things that like claim to have the real explanation, but they weren't the same explanation. So it's kind of like I didn't know which one was right, and I saw them all multiple places. So
You'd have to
Right.
find the first appearance of it, and if the first appearance of it was online somewhere, the archive, archive.org has the Wayback Machine or whatever, you could probably, if with enough investigation, figure it out fairly easily. I guess somebody probably already has. I do got to say, tonight is a momentous occasion. Something occurred tonight that has never occurred in the history of this show, and I think you missed it.
What?
We got a chat bot.
Oh
We got
no,
a
we've gotten
fucking
them
chat
before.
bot.
We've gotten them
Have
before.
we?
Yeah, we got a chat
never
bot
seen it.
before. Yeah, we got a chat bot before
Fuck.
from Twitch.
Damn it! I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought I was. Oh, that's from Twitch.
yeah, that's from Twitch.
Ah,
Twitch it. And I'm getting them on. We get them on YouTube too, but we get them after the show has been live.
that's why. That's why I don't see them. Okay.
Yep, we get them on YouTube after the show's been live. It's interesting. Some interesting shit.
Well, that's good. That's good that we're getting them while we're live, because that tells me that people are actually listening somehow. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. I doubt that shit, Steve.
Well, chatbots don't come into a lot of shows, so it's
No?
nice. It's nice to see one here.
Well, it's on
me feel
Twitch, so I
good.
don't know. I don't know what's going on, Steve. So in a
I
couple
can
of
see
weeks,
now that you can see where they're coming from, because it has a little symbol by their name. I didn't know.
in a couple of weeks, Steve, I'm gonna be fucking tooling. I'm gonna be tooling on a scooter, dude. Be tooling
Can't wait
around.
to see it.
You should fucking get one.
I am not. Not because I don't want one, because I don't have a use for one.
Yeah, I think you'd have fun with it though.
Oh, I'd have hella fun.
See,
I'd
that's
ride
the
it
thing.
just to ride it.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Steve. See, and you need a little bit of fun in your life.
Yeah, but I don't want to be fat man on a little bike. We talked about this before the show.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's a good sized bike. It's a good sized bike. You'll be all
I
right.
need a pretty big scooter. 50
Yeah.
cc's might not be enough to move me around. I don't know.
I think you'll be fine. They're rated for like 330 pounds. You're under that. Come on now, Steve.
Yeah, I'm 250.
See? You're under that. You're fine. That scooter haul you all over the place. Haul you all over the place. I'm telling you. Anyhow.
670 miles to the gallon, too.
It's around 100 miles to the gallon on them things.
Shit, you could make it here on like 3 gallons of gas.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe 4.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, I want to wrap this thing up tonight, Steve. It's fucking hot outside, and I want to relax. You know what I'm saying?
Too bad you ain't got a scooter. You could go out there
I
and ride
know.
it
I
and
could
cool
go
down.
fucking out ride and just enjoy the night air as it cools down. Yeah, a couple weeks, Steve. Anyhow, this has been the Fortean Slip, episode 191. People out of time. If you like this shit, hit that little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button, the angry face, the happy face, the whatever the fucking face you wanna post. I don't give a shit. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Go to facebook.com/the Fortean Slip. Give us a little like. Give us a like. I'm going to get the bedtime stories going back up and running again. I had said earlier today I was going to do a bedtime story today. I totally spaced at that point in time that I was doing a show tonight. I was not in the right frame of mind this morning.
By the way, I need to unveil something to the world. Is this the appropriate time during the show to do it?
Sure. Is it the Sweetwater Legend?
Yes, it is.
I don't know if it's appropriate on YouTube. What the fuck?
There you go. It's my very own Sweetwater Legend trading card.
Oh God!
So
where did you get that from?
Tops. And there's the Steve Alcorn version. There's 20 cards in there, so there's a significant amount. It's pretty cool. I'll pull one out. They're real trading cards.
You had those made?
Yeah, anybody can. Go to tops.com and go to custom, and you can make your own.
How much did that cost you motherfucker?
$10 for 20 of them.
No shit.
And they're real. I mean, they're good. You can see they're glossy, just like a regular trading card.
Oh yeah. Get the fuck out.
You can customize all that shit too.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, so on my channel, during my auctions, I'll be doing some giveaways. This will probably be involved in one of them. So you guys might want to watch every other Saturday night. That we'll have one this Saturday night.
All right. Sounds good, man. Those are awesome. I'll have to check that out. Later on tonight, the show will be up on Anchor at anchor.fm/Fortean Slip. As always, go check out our good friend Dreadfun at dreadfun.com and youtube.com/Dreadfun. Fred actually commented on the picture of me and my son yesterday. And he was like, holy shit, I drew him when he was a kid and now he's a man. And I was like, yes, and I'm eternally grateful for that. So go check out Fred at youtube.com/Dreadfun and at dreadfun.com. Go order something from Fred. Go order a fucking picture. Pay that man some money. Put that shit in his hand. Let him draw you a fucking piece of artwork for your home. Fred's a shit. And go over to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Check out High Society Radio. That's Bronx Johnny, Chris from Brooklyn, Chris Stanley. Bronx Johnny is celebrating, of course, the arrival of his son, his brand new baby.
Junior.
Yeah, well, not Junior, but
it's Junior. Oh, that's what I'm at.
Yeah, but no, he's loving it, and I'm happy for him. So go check out the boys at High Society Radio, and we will be back next week with yet another show. I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. It'll be something. But until then,